Bravo 1. Establish contact with the target at Minamidai intersection in 12 seconds. 88% chance they'll turn right onto the road ahead of it.
Bravo 1. Once you confirm the right turn, proceed 60 meters south.
This is Bravo 1. Copy that. Target is taking the right turn. Heading south.
Intercept target again in 11 seconds.
Bravo 1, stand by.
Target has turned right again. They're now passing the residential area and heading towards Loop 7.
Where's Alpha 2?
Heading south on Loop 7. They'll pass the central line in about 10 seconds.
Get him to the Honan police box. Fast. Bravo 1, remain on standby.
The target will reach Honan intersection in 28 seconds. Probability of them heading straight is at 61%. 24% chance they'll take a left turn.
This is Alpha 2. We'll need 60 seconds.
What's the status on the mobile connection to the Graper?
No success yet. Target's changing their address manually every second.
Keep trying until you get through.
This is Rhino Leader. Alpha 2, fire warning shots. Doesn't matter if you can't see the target.
This is a residential area. Are you sure?
I am. I'll take responsibility.
Roger that. Alpha 2, do as instructed.
This is Alpha 2. Firing warning shots.
The target will reach Honan intersection in 6, 3, 2, 1. Left turn. They're heading south down Loop 7.
That's checkmate.
Heard a sound loud enough to pierce through the roar of my Graper motor. Acting on instinct, I swerved away from it and headed south on Loop 7. Seriously, that was a goddamn gunshot.
Damn it! I feel like they're leading us right where they want us to be.
I'd lost the drones, but I was still running into armored cars as I raced along the residential area winding paths. Now I was getting pushed onto Loop 7, an actual main road.
You're dealing with the army. I wouldn't be surprised if they were monitoring you through military sats.
That'd mean I couldn't get away no matter what I did.
This constant hacking shit too. God, this is annoying.
This must have been the army too. They were doing everything in their power to hijack my Graper systems. It was forcing me to change my ride's address manually every second or so. Sure, I'd seen stuff like this in the amateur Graper races and been forced to do high-speed setting management. But there was a world of difference between a casual race and a goddamn army chase. This was way too intense. I couldn't relax for a single second, and there was no telling how long these attacks would last. Or how long I'd be able to keep focus. I felt Momo's warmth on my back. We were going so fast that she was desperately clinging to me for dear life. The strange girl in weird clothing I'd met barely 2 hours ago was the reason I was being chased by the goddamn army of all things. I had no reason to go through all this for her. But there's no way I was just gonna leave her behind. It'd be against my creed, against my convictions. That wasn't how I rolled. But I also had no idea where to go at this point. All I could do was dodge the hacks and keep the chase going.
We're past the Koenji blockade. Let's hope they didn't account for the roads to the south of it.
Yeah, roger that.
If they were watching me from space anyway, then taking the fast route on Loop 7 made more sense than winding through the residential streets. It was probably down to the blockades, but thankfully the roads were empty. Straight 2-lane road was well lit, so I could see pretty far into the distance.
Oh, right, now we're talking.
It sure made the driving easier. The attacks on the Graper systems continued, but I managed to fend them off. We could actually get out of this. I went full speed ahead.
Let's go!
Yeah. Right then. Though they blended in with the scenery speeding by, a set of red letters caught my eye. How's it going to end? The streetlights lit them right up. Why some weird graffiti on the pedestrian bridge caught my attention like that was beyond me, even me. But it was enough to throw me off for a few seconds. My fingers had stopped typing.
No!
They'd seized their chance. I tried to hit the brakes, but
No response!
we passed right under the Shinjuku route. The tire suddenly locked up. I lost control of the grape instantly. I was driving way too fast when it happened. Damn it. There was nothing I could do to maintain balance. Moment I went flying. Everything was in slow motion. The chopper was flying in the night sky overhead with its searchlight shining down. Multiple armored cars hidden with active camo revealed themselves on the road I thought was empty. I had no idea things would get this wild. And I'd never guess that the center of all this, the person the army was after, was this one girl. It felt way too unreal. Our eyes met as we flew through the air. I felt like white noise overcame my vision. And the next moment, I crashed into the road. I tried as hard as I could to stand up. My body was aching all over. I wouldn't be surprised if bones were broken. My graper was basically a pile of scrap. But what about Momo? I looked around. She was lying a short distance away. Her head was bleeding and she wasn't conscious.
Momo!
I tried to crawl over to her. Before I reached her, a load of armored cars pulled up, and we found ourselves surrounded by soldiers. Finally, with perfect timing, they were joined by the tattered baldy builder from before. As I lay there on the asphalt, he looked down at me with ice-cold eyes.
Got you now. You should have listened, kid.
I tried to say something back, but the pain was so bad I couldn't talk. Suddenly, a strong wind raked my body. Looking up, I saw a bright light. Both of those things were from the chopper, now landing while making ear-tearing sounds. Once it landed, 2 people climbed out. One was a mean-looking boy with a bow tie. He couldn't have been older than a middle schooler. The other was a long-haired man with a pale complexion. That was when the Baldy's old-fashioned transceiver rang out.
What is it?
Captain, we were ordered to retreat.
Retreat? That's absurd. What is the government thinking?
The boy who was listening to that exchange shrugged his shoulders.
Politicians are such cowards.
I suppose this was too much of a spectacle.
No matter. We secured the woman.
He spoke in an apathetic tone, then issued an order to the surrounding soldiers.
Hey! Get her on the chopper!
They took Momo's unconscious body and ran over to the chopper. They were followed by the bow-tie kid and a long-haired man.
Wait! Damn it!
I tried to raise my voice, but the pain silenced me.
Let her go!
Fighting the pain, I tried to reach out, but my hand was nowhere near close enough. The chopper took off. It all happened so fast. I wanted to cry out in frustration, but my body couldn't even manage a yell. The only ones left were me, still crawling on the ground, and the soldiers with that tattered bodybuilder among them.
The police are coming. We should withdraw.
Forget everything you saw today, kid, or else you'll be locked up for life.
Forget my ass. I'm gonna spread this all over the net. The whole world's gonna know about you fuckers.
He suddenly grabbed me by the chest. He was strong, scary strong. I couldn't escape his grip, no matter how hard I struggled. He was about to kick my ass, wasn't he? I felt like if I experienced any more pain, I'd end up paralyzed. I clenched my teeth as hard as I could. The agony wasn't going away. I only had one chance. I spat the blood in my mouth straight at his face to taunt him.
Go ahead. Another one in the stomach.
He went for my face instead. He sent me flying, and I found myself rolling along the road. But that was exactly what I'd been waiting for. Ignoring the pain, I used the momentum from the fall to twist my body and set off running in the opposite direction. I drowned, barely able to keep myself from collapsing. The Shinjuku route was above me, and the Koshokaido underpass below. I didn't have time to think, so I just dropped down.
After him! You can't escape!
God damn it!
Einmal Comicbuch.
Scatter!
Get in!
I looked around quickly. The soldiers had distanced themselves from the car to avoid getting hit, but they were readying their guns. Seeing that erased any hesitation I might have had, I jumped into the passenger seat.
Hold on tight!
The tattered bodybuilder was standing right in front of the car, but that didn't stop the driver from flooring it. The bald head dove sideways right before impact, leaving the road clear for us. Once we were out of the underpass, we took the road leading to Shinjuku. Sitting in the cramped rear seat was a girl who must have been in elementary school. Though I understood the words she was saying, I couldn't make sense of her appearance. She looked just like a porcelain doll. The girl was pointing at something beyond the rear glass, an armored car coming after us.
Man, this isn't even fair. We can't lose him in this hunk of garbage.
Hey, Oz! Can I take care of them? Can I? No's real good at this!
But
Don't overdo it.
overdo what? The girl, calling herself Nono, went down to the rear seat foot area and she spoke in a cutesy voice as she held up a 60 centimeter long cylinder. It looked a lot like a rocket launcher. She saw that I was looking at it and smiled.
This is my berry. I made it myself. Go ahead, tell me how awesome I am.
But she stuck her torso out the sunroof, readied her rocket launcher, and targeted the armored car. So.
Are you for real?
For real, that's the deal.
Was about to watch a child take on the army solo when the Japan becomes such a lawless wasteland.
Fire!
Das Zeug verpasst. Ah ja, also ja, bisher nicht allzu viel. Also was bisher jetzt heute passiert ist, also die sind, also der Typ, den wir spielen und die Momo sind von den Armeetypen abgehauen, wurden aber gefangen. Und dann sind wir einfach abgehauen und in das Auto von dem einen Typen, das wir ganz am Anfang gesehen haben, rein. Und ja, jetzt sind wir hier. The rocket shot through the air, a trail of white smoke snaking behind it. It hit the armored car, at least I thought it had. But it actually exploded right in front of it.
What did you do?
You can't tell by looking? They're fireworks! Loads of them! Shoo! Boom! Blast the powder kegs!
I'm surprised you know what powder kegs are.
I don't know what they are.
So it was just a bluff.
it looked like it was enough, though. The armored car's driver must have panicked, caused the thing, smashed into a guardrail, lost balance and stopped in its tracks. We were putting some distance between us and them. Soon enough, I couldn't make out any of the soldiers inside.
Did we get away?
The last 2 hours had been insane. It was hard to believe how little time had passed since Momo called out to me at Sun Plaza.
You okay? You sure don't look it.
He's like a crumbly wet rag.
Thanks. I owe ya.
My name's Oz. I'm one of Nakano's, well, how should I put it? Kind of a detective.
Kenn ich den seinen Synchronsprecher?
The little lady behind us is...
The little lady behind you is No-No. I'm a virtuoso.
Keith Silverstein. Also er hat schon ziemlich viel Dinge gesprochen. Aber die Rollen an sich ist jetzt keiner wirklich, glaube ich, dabei, wo ich sagen würde, ja genau daran erinnert oder kenne ich die Stimme. She didn't say anything else, so I had no idea what kind of virtuoso she was.
So, what happened to the little lady you were running away with?
Right. They took Momo away. I gotta go save her.
Took her away? The chopper, huh? No. Do you know where it went?
From the direction, it looked like it went to Haneda Airport. And lots of people online are saying they saw it.
Yeah, the chopper landed in a residential area. There's no way that wouldn't get attention online.
Then take me to Haneda, please.
What exactly is going on between those army folks and you two?
An wen erinnert mich die Stimme?
I have no clue, man.
By the time we snuck past all our pursuers and arrived at Haneda Airport, an hour had passed since Momo was taken away. The chopper with Momo on board had landed on the tarmac for private jets, slightly outside the actual airport. Staying hidden, we strained to see what was going on inside, and caught a glimpse of Momo being handed over to some mysterious foreigners.
What the hell? That's... the Vatican.
Vatican?
Seriously, who is that little lady?
It sounded like the government was ordering the army.
Did the Vatican pressure the government into mobilizing the army? Then why is that Brad involved in this? Damn, Can't tell who's got authority over what.
But I didn't care if it was the government or the Vatican. Momo was about to be taken outside Japan. There's no way I could help her if that happened.
I gotta go save her.
You dumbass. We're in an airport. Security will grab you the moment you walk in. And the army might be hiding somewhere close by. You're not gonna be able to do shit on your own. You'll just get yourself killed.
So what? Did I have to resign myself to twiddling my thumbs as I watched it happen? Momo. I couldn't protect her. I just met her and I didn't know anything about her. She was basically a stranger to me. But... Jetzt weiß ich, glaube ich. An den einen von Persona bei der, wie heißt der? GG. Okay, ist aber ein anderer. Anderer Voice Actor, aber ähnliche Stimme. There were so many people at Sun Plaza, but out of all of them, she called out to me. I told her I'd help her. I told her she could count on me. Yet. I couldn't even protect one girl. Frustration, anger, and shame swirled chaotically inside my head. I felt like tearing out my hair. Like screaming until my throat was dry and cursing myself to hell.
Damn it! Shit! Shit!
I punched the airport's fence over and over. The frustration wouldn't go away.
God damn it!
I was overcome by an explosion of emotion.
Huh? What the hell? Nothing's moving. Why? Is this VR? When did I dive in, though? Wait, what's this screen?
Oh.
Those are the words I saw earlier. That was... about an hour ago. I didn't have my optic recording on back then. So, why? What if I selected this? Whoa! Ah!
Next thing I knew, I was on the 2-lane road, heading towards Loop 7. The scenery around me was flying past at incredible speed. There were no other cars on the road.
What?
Wasn't I at the airport just now? The pain all over my body had vanished. The soft, warm sensation on my back returned. Momo was clinging to me. That was when I realized I was driving my grape.
Huh? What?
The shock and confusion were overwhelming. It felt like there was a thin layer of mist clouding my brain. Completely lost, I looked around to get a handle on my situation. Suddenly, I saw a pedestrian bridge ahead. How's it going to end? The streetlights made it easy to read. It was familiar. I'd seen it before. Was that a dream? Was I feeling some kind of déjà vu? If memory served, something bad was about to happen. A chill ran down my spine. I rushed to hit the brakes. A moment later, the system was hijacked, just like I remembered.
It's the same.
The mist around my mind vanished in an instant. I almost lost control, but I just managed to hit the brakes in time. It was hard to stay balanced, but I slid sideways and brought us to a full stop. There, we weren't moving anymore. This was the Koshikaido intersection. The Shinjuku route was above us. and ahead was Loop 7, completely empty.
Hold on.
Sorry, but
If my my memory was right, then there were armored military cars around here, hidden by active camo.
Look!
And there they were. Noticing that we'd stopped, the armored cars showed themselves. The cars that were trailing us had also caught up, quickly setting up a blockade around the intersection.
they got us surrounded.
Still, this was better than crashing and sliding across the asphalt. I told Momo to climb off the graper, then did the same myself. I didn't know what this déjà vu was all about. I didn't even know if it was a déjà vu. The memories felt pretty damn real to me. It was more like I was re-experiencing something I'd already been through. Did that weird app do this? I couldn't tell. All I could do was act according to my memories. Another armored car appeared before long. While the others were keeping the blockade from a distance, this one stopped right in front of us.
That's right. Stand by at high altitude. Don't come down. We don't know what they're up to. Yes, disregard what Urano says.
The tatted bodybuilder relayed some orders over a transceiver. Then he looked right at me.
Yo!
I strained my ears and heard a chopper in the distance. I focused and thought hard about the best way to get out of this. And I soon had my answer.
You stop by yourself. Smart move.
What I had to do was
Don't put up a front. I know you're relieved. Am I right?
provoke him and keep the conversation going.
Getting your ass handed to you by a little punk like me must have done a number on your pride as a soldier. Sorry, but I'm no script kiddie.
Hand her over.
She's not your property.
I said, hand her over.
How about you offer something in return, Sweeten the deal, and I might say yes.
Gotcha. The guy had gone and shot McGraper's rear wheel with his handgun. Shit, that was no way to treat a man's right. And he got where the superconducting motor was, and Graper wasn't roadworthy without it. I couldn't let him see I was panicking, though. I went and glared right at him instead.
You jackass. The army better pay you enough to cover the repair bill.
You don't seem to understand your situation. You have two options. Spend your life in jail or die here. We'll write it off as an accident. Pick one.
I don't vibe with either.
Your future is in my hands.
Really? In those huge transhuman paws you got there?
Give me your answer.
Don't underestimate me.
Hmm?
Listen up. In exactly 51 seconds, that transceiver you got hanging there is gonna go off.
What?
This was a gamble. If it worked out, I'd be a goddamn prophet. Kann man die Stellen nicht schon? Ja. Aber der Polon-Typ, den wir spielen, der hat sozusagen Spielstand neu geladen. Und zwar da den Spielstand, den hat das Spiel irgendwie automatisch angelegt und den hat er neu geladen.
You're gonna get an order to retreat, and your captain's authority won't mean shit, cause that order's coming straight from the government. While you're all shook up, I'll take Momo and run. You'll come chasing after us, of course, but you won't get far, cause a passing car is gonna knock you flat on the road. That's the future I want.
What kind of shit is that? Retreat order in 51 seconds? A car hitting me? You crack me up, I'll give you that. But that's enough.
It actually went off. I was surprised myself, but I didn't show it.
That's 51 seconds. Answer it, army guy.
This is Rhino Leader. Captain, we were ordered to retreat.
What?
Our politicians higher up the food chain chickened out. Seems they favor the status quo.
But the target's right here.
You're the ones who turned the chase into a shit show. It's your own fault, losers. Alright then. Peace.
Hold it! You can't escape. Shit!
Get in!
Everything was just as I remembered.
You're late, Oz.
The old dude was surprised I called him by his name, but I ignored him and pushed Momo into the rear seat.
Hit the gas.
I shouted as I slipped into the passenger seat.
It actually happened, huh?
It went so well, it actually felt kinda good.
How'd you know my name, kid?
I'd answer that later.
No. An armored car is gonna come after us. Blind him with that weird rocket of yours.
Huh? Huh?
It's right under your feet, yeah? Barry, whatever? The thing that shoots fireworks.
Huh? How do you know that? Telepathy? Sympathy? Villainy?
All right. Look, I know you're a virtuoso.
Huh? Yeah, I'm a virtuoso.
So I can count on you, right?
You really know what a lady likes. You're nothing like us.
Clearly happy, she quickly took her mini rocket launcher and stuck herself out of the sunroof.
Huh? Are we really doing this?
It's fine, just shoot.
Roger, Dodger, yes, sir. Fire!
The rocket flew through the air, leaving a trail of white smoke as it shot straight for the armored car. Right before impact, it blew up, triggering an explosion of colorful fireworks.
Boom! Blast the powder cake!
Caught by surprise, the armored car lost balance and stopped. There weren't any other cars chasing us, and I couldn't hear the chopper anymore either. We were probably still under surveillance from a military Zet, but they'd been ordered to retreat, so I guess it was safe to assume they'd given up their pursuit, right?
We did it.
I looked back at Momo, who seemed like she was in a hell of a daze. She was kinda spacing out, but she was here with me. It felt like a miracle in itself.
Hey, you!
Oz grabbed me by the chest, his other hand still on the steering wheel.
How'd you know our names? Why were they after you? Who the hell are you?
How should I put it? Sorry, not gonna lie, I don't know what the hell's going on myself.
It's not him, it's me! Polon put himself in danger just to help me!
Momo hastily tried to cover for me. Oz seemed to know who was after her. But in any case, one thing was plain as day. Momo hadn't lost them for good. We might have escaped them for now, but I'd be a fool to think this was all over. What could we do to get rid of them once and for all? Was police protection even an option here? Or would we have to leave Tokyo altogether?
What's your name?
I'm Polon Takaoka.
A woman with an umbrella was standing right in front of us. Oz quickly turned the wheel. It didn't feel like we'd hit anyone. We had no of knowing whether she'd dodged us either. Since the car was throwing us left and right. Oz did what he could to try out to Boss did what he could to right our balance. But right in front of us was a steel plate wall used in construction sites. Beyond it was the Shinjuku crater, reconstruction zone, and an off-limits area.
We're going in!
A brace for impact. Beyond the wall were a load of construction vehicles as well as cars that probably belonged to the people working here. Further ahead was the edge of the crater, one of the scars left on the city after the events of the sad morning.
Who was that woman?
Dude, stop the car! That's the edge of the crater right there!
Sad morning. Ich weiß nicht, ob man... Ja, ich nehme an, wir kriegen dazu noch mehr Infos. Aber das Sad Morning Zeug kommt in Steins Gate Zero und Robotics Notes Dash auch vor. Aber ich nehme an, wir kriegen da noch ein bisschen mehr Infos im Spiel. Suddenly there was a shocking sight on impact. A parked car had suddenly stirred to life and rammed into us. It was like it was being controlled by something. Was this remote control? It wasn't just one car either. A bunch of others joined in on the thrashing. Even though we were moving, they were smashing into us with crazy precision.
Fuck! One after the other!
God damn it!
Boss hit the brakes and somehow stopped the car from falling into the crater.
You all okay?
Hängt so gut zusammen. Kann gut sein. Ich weiß nicht, ob es in den anderen Dingern irgendwie... ob es in den anderen Visual Novel Dingern in Steins Gate Zero zum Beispiel oder so, ob das da irgendwas Größeres ist oder einfach nur erwähnt wird oder so, aber ja, scheint zumindest sich ein bisschen zu überlappen oder so. Kennen von den ganzen Dingern, Visual Novel Sachen, die da in der Reihe mit drin sind, auch nur die Anime-Version von Steins Gate. Aber ja, scheint so, ja, also zumindest ist es in derselben Welt.
Was that the army too?
Before I got an answer, one of the unmanned cars suddenly came speeding towards us from behind.
Shit! Hop out!
Boss grabbed Nono and leapt out of the car.
Momo!
Sag mal, was das als nächstes könnte man machen. Naja, ich guck später mal, wie was so die Reihenfolge von der Reihe ist. I tried to take a hand and get out, but before I could do that, I felt the shock of an intense impact. The car tilted hard and suddenly we were in mid-air. Momo and I were flung out through the open door. The umbrella-wielding woman looked down with great disinterest, as though whatever had happened below was barely worth her attention. She was on the roof of a 52-story building. Her gaze was, at this moment, fixed upon something far in the distance. It was as if she was staring directly at the edge of the faraway crater, precisely where the car had just crashed. Okay. Okay.
The fact that you've arrived here, rather to this save point at this moment in your life, is nothing short of a miracle. It delights me to no end.
But
the countless atoms aimlessly drifting about the universe have, against all odds, come together to give you form. And considering everything that happened between the origin of all things and your birth, this meeting itself is a miracle. That being said, this series of miracles started casting a shadow of doubt on our minds. And at this very moment, it's become a conviction. Step through the stage's curtain, rip off the mask of the wizard who pulls the strings. Close the loop. Hack into God.
What?
The first ever computer was built during World War II.
Okay.
Predicting ballistic trajectories required myriad calculations. So it was created to process them as quickly and accurately as possible. You might even say that computers started out as devices for simulating events. In the early 21st century, Japan created a supercomputer simply named Earth Simulator. Explaining and predicting environmental changes on a global scale required far more processing power than ballistics calculations did. As such, it boasted some of the most advanced technologies available at that time. The completed supercomputer broke records and received praise from around the globe. However, the original Earth simulator's predictions were limited to only the Earth's atmosphere and sea currents. So what, might I ask, would happen if someone were to create an Earth simulator capable of predicting every event? All laws of physics, all natural phenomena, all activities exhibited by organisms, and all of humanity, along with the societies and cultures they've built. If we could simulate any and every event on Earth, what would you make of the result?
The result would be reality itself. The consummation of our objective. The ultimate Earth simulator.
Then allow me to introduce to you the completed Gaia. Atmosphere, sea currents, all laws of physics, all natural phenomena, all activities exhibited by organisms, and all of humanity, along with the societies and cultures they've built. It replicates every event. Every single one of them.
What is this? What is this?
A simulation of this room at this very instant. It isn't from the security cam, mind you. It can simulate any event at a given time and space. This is from shortly before your arrival.
He's a problem child, but considering all the profit we can expect, it's worth coddling him a bit.
I'd like to check the simulation's accuracy if you don't mind. Was this what you said earlier, word for word? I apologize for being a problem child. Please know. Thanks to your patience and coddling, Gaia has finally come to completion today.
Please refrain from invading our privacy. I'm awkward at smiling.
What?
Amazing. Its individual human simulation is simply flawless.
This is at least 3 generations ahead of the other countries.
What do you think, sir?
This is far beyond my expectations.
Now here is something even more interesting.
But...
What did you...
Please remain calm. He was a spy from another country. So outdated in this modern age. Would you mind changing the security team right away? To a team that's actually competent, please? Anyway, if you could look at the screen. The spy over there is still alive.
No!
In the simulation, I exposed the spy, driving him to take a hostage in an attempt to escape. As you can see in the simulation, both died.
The simulation's outcome differs from the actual event, but why?
Because I influenced the future. You and the spy got into a scuffle, and... unfortunately, you were killed. The spy was subdued, but he bit off his tongue and died. By shooting the spy before that happened, we were able to save a precious life. Good thing you didn't get stabbed to death.
Oh.
I believe you understand now. This is no baseless guesswork. Any event can be observed without a flaw. And the results can be used to influence the events in reality. Thus, we can learn about our future and change it. Imagine, if you would, the benefits of such power.
This is incredible! Our project is finally complete!
Congratulations,
Congratulations.
sir!
Imbeciles. Our project? They really don't get it. Gaia is mine.
Uh-oh.
A whole year already, huh?
We'll be arriving soon.
Gotcha.
Though surrounded in every direction by shining buildings, not even the Shinjuku crater was immune to the dark of night. With the reconstruction focused on the outer edges, the deeper parts of the crater were saturated with silence and darkness. Oz, Tengen Zutani, was standing on a construction platform, sticking out from the ground and looking down into the dark. There he saw his beloved car, now little more than a pile of scrap.
Oz, you're way too down like a sad old clown. If it's broken, you just gotta fix it.
The girl beside him, Nonoka Hosho, tried to console Oz, but her words only upset him further.
Do you have any idea how much it'd cost to restore her in this day and age?
It's your own fault for driving old cars.
They heard footsteps nearby and were soon joined by a man.
Us. No.
Yo.
Kaoru! Oz's car is all beat up. Buy him a new one.
I see. Looks like you've been through the ringer.
Moment, ich sehe gerade. Internet ist weg. Okay, warte mal kurz. Pause. So. Okay, also ich hab jetzt ein paar Minuten gewartet. Es ändert sich nichts. Ich werde, ja, leider nicht weitermachen können. Und joa. Müssen wir nächste Woche hier weitermachen.